Carly Fiorina was at a religious event with all the other Republican candidates, and she hit us with some casual bigotry.
Stage, all of the people in this church are people who care deeply about our nation, who love our nation, and are people of faith who love our God as well. And we started this conversation by talking about what's at stake for our nation. What's the greatest moral challenge of our nation? And I do think it's worth saying that people of faith make better leaders, because faith gives us humility. Faith teaches us that no one of us is greater than any other one of us, that each of us are gifted by God. Faith gives us empathy. We know that all of us can fall, and every one of us can be redeemed. And faith gives us optimism. It gives us the belief that there is something better, that there is someone bigger than all of us. And so I think it's important that we elect a leader of faith, and that we elect a leader as well who knows that more prayer, not less, is necessary in public life and in all our lives.
All right, I have so much to say about that. First of all, the faux concerned tone. This has always gotten under my skin about Carly Fiorina. I'm not sure anybody else speaks about this. The way she talks is fucking insufferable, because it's always like she acts like the words she's saying, this is very heavy and very serious, and I'm very concerned about all this, and I'm going to speak in this way that's very... It's like dramatic acting. And every time she talks, it's like that, where she has this look on her face like, I'm going into the zone with my dramatic conversation and points here. It should be noted that religious people are great. And atheists suck. Can you talk like a human? I don't get it. And it's, Ted Cruz does a version of this, but he does the more sleazy, smarmy politician way of talking, as does Marco Rubio, as does Martin O'Malley too, by the way. So just to be clear, this is a bipartisan thing. And I think that we should balance the budget, and I think that I'm going to hold my pose with my finger like this. I'm Ted Cruz, me. Like, why are you just talk like a fucking normal human being? Why are you talking like that? I don't get it, and I don't like it, okay? Side point, though. I like how my side points are always like really angry bursts of shit. Now let's get to the substance. At the end, she's like, we need a leader that does more prayer and not less. We need a leader that talks more to their imaginary friend instead of admitting we don't have imaginary friends. No, could you imagine this in any other context? So take away the entire, context of religion from the world here for a second, and just imagine somebody said this about their literal imaginary friend. Like, they're like, hey, I have a friend named Chucky. You can't see him, but I talk to him. Hey, Chucky. Could you imagine Carly Fiorina? We should all spend more time talking to our imaginary friends, hey, Chucky, than not talking to them. People would go, oh my God, straitjacket. Can we get security in here? Let's go. Thorazine, Seroquel, put her in a padded room. What's happening? That's weird. Doesn't make any sense. But since everybody, okay, you can't criticize religion. So, okay, religion's here. We need to get on our knees and pray and say stuff to God. And so to do that more, not less. Any time you spend praying when you're in office and not substantively doing shit and focusing on real-world solutions is wasted time. Totally wasted time. That's as silly as saying people should a Santeria fucking ceremony or a voodoo ceremony when we need more time to do voodoo ceremonies when we get elected. Put a skull in the corner of the room and sprinkle goat blood, and we'll all dance around the center of the Oval Office and speak to the fairies and the angels and the zombies. That's what you're saying, but just because you're using different words doesn't mean that's not what you're saying. Why is it that when it's the religion of the majority, everybody's like, oh, that makes sense. But if somebody were to say, we need to spend more time talking to Zeus and Thor, we need more time for the Greek gods and the Roman gods, people would say, this person is fucking Looney Tunes. But when it's your gods and your mommy and daddy's gods, oh, it's cool. No, it's cool. They're just what? They're just going to talk to their imaginary friend. Back off. What are you, a bigot? You disagree with that? Why are you such a bigot? I'll get to the real bigotry in a second. Now, imagine what she said there, because I'll give you her quote. People of faith make better leaders. People of faith make better leaders. Imagine she said that about any other group. So that includes, okay, people of faith are better, so the people of different faiths, but the one who's left out? Atheists, agnostics, non-believers. So just, that's why I call it casual bigotry. You say it and people think that's a pro-faith thing to say. No, it's also an anti-atheist thing to say. It's also an anti-agnostic thing to say. You're also saying they suck. Just this group blanketly dismiss them, but everybody else is great. Could you imagine a presidential candidate says today, I think that black people should be dismissed. Nobody should vote for a black person. Everybody goes, that's racist. That's obviously racist. That's the most racist thing I've ever heard in my life. I don't think Jews should get elected to office. I just don't think they make good leaders. So no, I don't think they make worse leaders, period. Well, everybody say, you're an anti-Semitic bitch. You're crazy. How can you say that? That's a grotesque thing to say. But when it's an atheist, shh. Yeah, none of us like him, so shut the fuck up. No, nobody say anything. Okay, yeah, we all agree the atheists suck, right? Yeah, the atheists suck. Nobody defend him, right? Yeah, nobody defend him. Okay. That's the point we're at today. Casual bigotry against atheists. Fucking crickets. Where the mainstream Alice? Yeah, did you just say people of faith make better leaders? How do you know? What does that even mean? What are you saying? Really? So, do we have a recent atheist president we can point to? Oh, he actually did a good job. Look what he actually cared about the shit happening on this earth. You don't have that example. So how can you say that? No, you say that because you're a fucking bigot. That's what it is. You're a bigot. Do you hear me clearly? You are bigoted, Carly Fiorina. Just because it's a group nobody talks about, nobody acknowledges the bigotry against them, doesn't mean you're not a bigot. You're clearly a bigot. Okay? And I'm sick of this. We gotta, this is why atheists, agnostics, non-religious people speak up. Speak up. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming to defend you. Nobody's going to come in there and say, hey, that's what the fuck? Why would you say that? I can't run the country because I don't believe in your fucking magic voodoo nonsense. I don't believe in Harry Potter and the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. No, see, the thing that's most obnoxious about this is they're the ones with imaginary friends, and they're the ones who are saying, dismiss us, no questions asked, because they're so irrational and they don't make good leaders. But we make great leaders, especially when we're doing our stupid fucking voodoo ceremonies where we talk to our imaginary friends in the sky. The irony is overwhelming and the bigotry is overwhelming.